when I played Monster Hunter World originally, I didn't really put that much time into it, and I never really understood its premise. But I did love its concept. Out of all the Monster Hunter games, Monster Hunter World is the only one that ever held me down. And I don't know why. Like, all of them seem to have some elements of being better after when they come out. But Monster Hunter World is the only one that actually kept me around. Maybe it's because I could mod myself to be 2B, but that's beside the point. So, with a migraine in tow and my voice sounding like I smoked 50 cigarettes, I want to watch the Max0r Monster Hunter World review. Because Max0r and Monster Hunter, two pertinent subjects that will easily work well as React Andy content.
The World is an action-style third-person beat-em-up, slice-em-up, carve-em-up, drink-em-up, kill them all, where you play as John World, or the...
John World. Yes. I just keep forgetting, this video came out, what, 2 years ago? A year ago? So this is going to be in the style of his Elden Ring editing, I can almost guarantee it. Which isn't a bad thing. Just means that we're all going to have to really take our Adderall and be able to pay attention for more than 5 minutes.
The Joker and his normal cat.
Oh, I do have a question though. Is the lore, because I've played most Monster Hunter games, but for none of them I've played for more than like 2 or 3 hours at a time. Monster Hunter World was the first one I had like 10 hours in, but are these games designed to be made in a way where you just can't follow the story? Because either I'm an idiot or I just could not understand what was going on beyond, hey, we landed on island. Hey, there are monsters. Go kill monsters. Because that seems like the summary of all of the Monster Hunter games, and I'm not sure if I am just stupid or whether I just couldn't follow the story or whatever.
As we find and research the world's most amazing and charismatic megafauna,
yeah,
so we can peacefully relocate them to the
a bit of a
Do you ever
expedition, right? Like it is a science thing, I guess?
Siberian mammoth, or perhaps you're the kind of...
Oh, no, wait, I forgot. No, sorry. I'll stand corrected. The entire point of Monster Hunter is a big fuck you to Peter.
And who open carries to the zoo
Animal
the day that the chimps
Animal abuse incarnate.
So, this game could be for you.
Also, a lot of the monsters are kind of hot.
Wasteland of Australia. We play as an inherently bloodthirsty
it's
and
Australia.
violent race known only as
I should have known that.
Anglicus, and we're here
seeing
to
as I'm British and we invented Australia.
As humanly possible, so I can wear it. Along the way, overcoming many varieties of horrifying creatures unknown.
So he says horrifying monsters. But there's 3 categories here from what I can tell. There's the horrifyingly grotesque monsters that are going to make you have nightmares. There's the cute, adorable, oh my god, they're so cute, please don't kill me so viciously. And then there's the, that's a penis monster. And I know that this is a penis because I typed in Monster Hunter penis monster. Whoever came up with this had been watching far too much hentai.
To God, ranging from plausible and interesting specimen to fucking Thanos. And yes, I am reviewing Monster Hunter World and not Rise because the phrase Nintendo Switch port does not fill me with confidence.
And this is exactly why I do not play other Monster Hunter games. Monster Hunter World is to me, the best of the lot just because it's the most complete. Monster Hunter Rise felt so empty and lethargic, and I just bored the socks off me. And I think a lot of this comes down to that sunk cost fallacy. The reason why people keep going back to Monster Hunter World is the same reason why people keep going back to World of Warcraft after a new MMO comes out. You've already got so much time in this game that's more complete than most of the others. Why would you start over again in another game that's basically the same thing, but where you have none of your stuff? Plus, I do also love the styling of Monster Hunter World as well. Like, everything is much more thought out. Everything is much more organized. And it's probably the easiest to understand Monster Hunter game.
I'm sure it's a fantastic game, but this looks like an excellent Gary's mod map. So without further ado, it's time to explain to you my favorite animal cruelty simulator with a game attached to it.
I'm glad to know that me and Max are on the same level with the animal cruelty issue. There's more animal cruelty in this than there is in Minecraft, and that's saying something. Ah, this editing. Ah, yes, my ADHD is on fire. All 80 of them. Wait, pod 1?
It's been so long since I've last seen my son, lost to this monster. Forced in Fistmost, mob...
Is that a Living Tombstone song? Living Tombstone song? Just awoke a core memory of mine that I forgot.
Monster Chucker is a game about options because there's a few of them. At least
Yes.
3 monsters are present in the game, possibly 94.
Yes, at least 3 monsters. At least. And don't even get me started. Like, you guys thought that learning Warframe, modding, and weaponry semantics was confusing? Try picking up a Monster Hunter game and figuring out how to use the weapons in their most optimal fashion. Well, yes, if you use the dual blade in this fashion with this exact build and this exact armor set, you'll do 5.99% more damage, and then you get clowned on by the one guy who's able to solo the thing that took you 5 hours of dying to. Like, you're sat there progressing, going, oh no, I'm struggling, oh no, I can't get past this one monster, and then this guy that comes in that sees your SOS flare and, like, haha, let me solo them.
And every one of them has 2 armor sets to hunt after the
fucking Warframe reference! I'm a psychic. I'm clearly clairvoyant. I guess complicated games exude complication that make you think of other complicated games. Yeah, I'm that smart.
these amazing beasts and where to find them. You need to get into the mindset of our distant ancestors. You see, humans are what we call persistence hunters, which means we kill by running down their prey until they beg us for death. For reference, our closest competitors in a marathon are sled dogs and a horse. Imagine for a moment that you're this big fucking turkey and it's almost time for Thanksgiving.
Look at that boy!
Long and arduous battle, you run away as far as you can, but every time you turn around, he's still there. And even worse, it's wearing your skin.
Oh my god.
This is the mentality you must adopt if you're to survive the wild.
Okay, for real though, the armor in this game do look kind of sick.
Because he was weak.
Not that I would know, because I modded my character to look like 2B, so it didn't matter what armor I wore, my character always had a thick ass.
To this new world of possibility known as the Denny's parking lot as part of the 5th Fleet of the Research Commission, exploring and murdering this vast continent to track down the whereabouts.
One of these days, I will learn how to edit like this, and my videos will be fire because of it.
Millions of people so we could grow fucking vegetables. This is offensive. So when I heard that these bitches
those
were
vegetables
doing
are
it to find
important,
a lizard, I decided I would engage in
dietary
genocide of my
that
own
jazz.
volition. You will not need motivation to kill in this game. It comes about naturally, just like polio. And to bring about this.
Listen, brother, it's like the rules of nature. The sun shines, the grass grows, and brother, the monsters in this game are gonna die. By my hand! I will say, there was something oddly satisfying about the dual blades in this game, turning into a whirling dervish of destruction. I'm only 3 minutes into this, and I'm already more convinced to play Monster Hunter World than I was ever convinced to play Monster Hunter Rise. You know what, guys? Should I go back and play Monster Hunter World? Should we start playing this game again? Let me know in the comments. And if you're on Twitch, just berate me and tell me that I should play this and that I'm a shitter if I don't.
Timely demise, we are given a choice of 14 weapons, all of them completely different from one another, like the light bowgun and the heavy bowgun. And
okay, other than the bows, the thing that I think kept me to this game more so than anything else was that all of the weapons just felt so unique to themselves. Like, every weapon had such a fun playstyle, and you felt like an absolute baller for mastering it. And I don't know if any of you guys ever played Dauntless. We used to be a partner with them back in the day. Things that games like this feel good at is that they're easy to pick up, they're good serotonin dopamine hits, they don't require much effort to be able to pick up, but they have a high skill cap so that you feel satisfied when you learn them. At least that's what I like to tell myself when I spend 15 hours trying to fight a single boss, only to then realize that I've been using the wrong build, and it wasn't my inadequacies that made me fail, it was that my gear sucked, clearly.
The bow, but let me tell you, if
also the Dark Souls element of knowing that even with the lowest gear, you can kill the hardest boss. That's such a satisfying thing.
I trust are my 2 best friends, Smith and Wesson. This is why I chose the gun lance, which is what you think it is. Now, of course, I could have chosen the literal machine gun.
The gun lance is
with these weapons
such an anime weapon.
First-person shooter where the objective is to keep the gun away from your mouth. Instead, I was drawn to the insect glaive because 1, it lets me literally fly, and the floor is paying taxes. 2.
So this was my natural progression as well. I haven't played Monster Hunter World in in probably about a year and a half at this point, 2 years almost. My natural progression, bow and arrow, into dual blades, and then I discovered the beauty of the insect lance, or the insect glaive. Because being able to fly is a baller move and lets you flex on everyone else.
2, I get to lace a giant bee with C4 high explosives and throw it at people. And
I think
yes,
part of
there
the
is
thing
an
that makes this
upgrade
game so
tree
fun as well is the
dedicated to bees.
momentum.
3,
Even with
I
the
get to
big
mount
weapons, you feel
monsters,
like an
and that
absolute
lets me
speed
spam custom
demon.
dialogue at everyone in the game. Side note, you can fully customize your automatic callouts to preemptively diagnose the cause of your teammate's death, which is very funny. But your choice isn't just between weapon types, but also weapon elements. I won't get into it now since there are a few of them, but my favorites would have to include the dragon element.
Listen, I think this is probably why this game works so well for people, regardless of which version of the game you play. At the end of the day, yes, you can invest your Oxford diploma and degree in quantum mechanics to understand which weapon works the best. But at the end of the day, the person who spent 15 years in Harvard is still going to have just as much fun as the dopey idiot named Inky that just wanted to play the game because heard their big sword go mash. And I think that's why Monster Hunter is kind of appealing. Plus waifus. Plus sexy monsters. I mean, I'm not a furry. Nah.
Or even blast element. Every monster is weak to blast element. So with all these varied choices, chances are high that at least one weapon speaks to your specific mental illness. Just don't play the hunting horn unless
Hey,
you
don't
want
call
rock
me
band
out like
for
that.
engineering
I only
students.
have several mental illnesses.
Don't worry, I know exactly why you're here. I too want
Do
to know
you?
what this thing's foreskin looks like on my mantelpiece.
There's a certain level of comment that we come to expect from Max0r.
Hello there.
Commenting on putting a monster's foreskin on your shelf shouldn't be a surprise. But that one kind of threw me. Wait, is Max0r secretly a furry? Make your guesses now.
Fortunately, World has you covered. I haven't really explained this because
Little
it's
Moon Cow,
in
what's
the
up, buddy?
title, but in this game you hunt monsters. This doesn't just mean killing them,
What?
although
What?
there is
Whoa,
a lot
whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold the hold up! Hold the fucking phone! You mean to tell me, in a game called Monster Hunter, we hunt monsters? What? Calling me surprised? Holy shit! So surprised it broke the fourth wall and made me turn my webcam on.
lot of that. There's two ways to complete a hunt, Republican and Democrat. Both of them result in endless pain for the animal. Here's the difference. Killing them by slowly breaking each individual bone is a mercy. Capturing them will...
There does come the point where you realize that you're a bit of a sadist as well, eventually, where what used to be a challenge, you suddenly realize that you're now specifically going after monsters to be the average American trophy hunter, where rather than killing the monster for science, you're like, ah yes, I require the left toenail of this monster. Only that, though. What about the rest of it? Ah, it doesn't matter, just leave it to rot. So you mean you killed this immensely endangered species for its right toenail? Yeah. Okay, so what did you want to make with it? Mug. I needed mug.
always give you more body parts than skinning them, which can include their skulls. The only logical conclusion is that we disassemble them like a crab factory. And those are the lucky ones, because the other ones are subjected to cockfighting, and my bet always wins. The gameplay of Angry Birds can best be described
I keep forgetting
as
how
Bloodborne
wild this
with
game
no
is. Oh my
health
god.
bars. For most monsters, that's okay.
See, this is why Monster Hunter World is superior. Does Monster Hunter Rise or Monster Hunter other Monster Hunter games have cockfighting? No, I didn't think so. Is it as well laid out and as well designed as this? No, I didn't think so. Does it have the ability for you to be the most badass person imaginable? No, it doesn't. Monster Hunter World superior. Oh boy, that was kind of awkward. I might have accidentally showed my friend code off, and if the editor didn't see this suggestion in the recording, then now the entirety of YouTube knows what my friend code is for Steam. Let's hope that I was paying attention in editing. But anyway, I don't care. Oh, I never uninstalled it. Well, I was gonna make a whole meme of me re-downloading it to say that that you all had the illusion of free choice, but apparently I had it already downloaded anyway because past me knew that future me was gonna want to download it again because Monster Hunter World was gonna be popular again after, even though it's a game that came out in 2018 and now it's more popular than any of the other Monster Hunter games. Because past me was a baller and knew that future Makari that had a migraine would not remember to download it beforehand because they would need to remember after watching a Max0r video that they would actually want to play it again because it's actually the best game of the Monster Hunting world. Anyway, and back to the video.
Hey, because counting broken bones is enough, but some of these bastards spend more time
Maybe that's
close
a
to death
sign.
than Joe Biden. In fact,
Maybe that's a sign. I forgot I downloaded it. Maybe that's a sign that it's been clairvoyantly downloaded in the past. I need to now play this now.
And then fashioning yourself the perfect drip out of their intestines.
That's kind of small.
Of course, there's a lot of ways to build your swag with a myriad of skills.
Ah,
like
the ghosts
fast
of my
food build,
Warframe
the
past
eating
keep
less
coming to
build,
haunt
the
me.
eating for free build, and lest we forget, the mushroom consumption build to complete my ultimate McDonald's form. No self-respecting hunter.
I keep forgetting this game encourages shroom usage. I keep forgetting there's as much narcotics use in this than a typical West Londoner's suburb.
Would ever think of going outside without slightly reducing the effects of minor wind pressure.
Also,
Or you can
apologies to the
do
people watching on
damage.
YouTube.
Like
I
a
have a
fucking
migraine right
moron.
now,
Take your armor for a
and then my
spin
voice
and
is
throw a
fucked
body
because of
in
it,
the
so
bin.
I sound like I
Repeat
smoked
until
50
you win.
cigarettes. I
That's
apologize.
the entire game. This being said, there are complications. It's better to think of them not
This
like
is definitely
video
one of those
enemies,
games
but
that if you're
very
playing for the
stupid
story, it's
cats.
like
And
watching
like
porn
cats,
for the
these
plot.
bitches are territorial.
You're here to
Sometimes even
beat
going
up
so far as to
monsters.
beat each other to death while I'm fighting them. But I think my favorite example of this would have to be Mr. Nikon. This bastard is designed to wander into random battles, catch you in 4K HD, and then leave for literally no fucking reason. And if that doesn't suit your fancy, there's always Bazinga Goose, whose sole objective is tracking you down across the map to carpet bomb you for the crime of playing the game. Now,
For the
I don't
crime of
normally play
existing,
Monster Hunter since
actually.
I'm more of a Connect 4 SpongeBob man, but the sheer variation on display here is really
If you guys
something.
ain't gonna be able
Every
to deal
single
with
animal has
fighting
their own
gigantic
unique
monsters,
role,
maybe you should go
and
back
mine is
to a
putting
real
them into
game
a
like
museum.
like
As a rule,
Monopoly
for every single
or
kind of beast,
a real
if
Family
violence does not
Breaker,
work,
chess.
use additional violence. Now that we have a good understanding of our victims, it's time to take our domestic violence international, because this is a Monster Hunter world, one that makes no fucking sense, both geographically and ecologically. Just
Who made this game again? Who made Monster Hunter? Capcom. So, you were expecting to understand the lore and the story in a Capcom game. That sounds like an issue, and that you had expectations of understanding the story from a Capcom game. Nobody, not even Capcom, has ever understood the story of a Capcom game. Capcom is always gameplay first, story and lore understanding second.
like the real Australia. So upon beginning the game, we make our way across the dangerous but inoffensive lands of New South Wales, learning the basics, surviving, and expanding our newly founded gulag of
In the
Sydney.
GC?
This hell
Huh?
will be your base of operations for most of the game, complete with every kind of amenity you
What do
can
you mean?
expect from
thanks
savage
for that
Welshmen. It's here that we rearm, research, and reforge my weapon again because
Man,
I
I'm
am
getting an itch
indecisive.
now.
There's
I'm
even
really
a
getting an
pig
itch.
that
I want
won't
to.
stop
I
following
forgot
you.
this
You
game
can
had
pet it,
Poogie!
but not too much,
Guys,
because what matters is
Poogie!
consent.
We forgot
But most
Poogie!
importantly,
We haven't
this is
pet
where
Poogie
we use
in, like-
racial segregation, because for some reason
We're halfway there. Hopefully we can find some more Velcana tracks during the next hunt.
Where's my Poogie? Where's my Poogie? We interrupt this YouTube. There it is. We interrupt this YouTube React Handy to pet the Poogie. Pet the freaking. Oh my god, there we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, baby. Okay, back to the video.
the only chefs in the entire camp are cats, and this is a very unsanitary cooking environment. You see, food isn't just a buff, and it's not just a cutscene. It's fucking mandatory.
It is!
I mean, just
Dude,
look at
food
the
porn.
cardio.
This game
My
makes
body's
me
an
hungry
airplane powered
every
by
time I've
dead
ever played
chickens.
it.
To put it simply, the game
They
is
had no
unplayable
right
with
to
an
go
empty
this
stomach
hard
for
on the
two
food.
reasons. One, it looks like this, and two, I don't
It
have
gives
to
you
explain
buffs.
shit. The
It
next
gives you
areas on our
buffs.
list are what
You
I
want it because it
collectively
gives you
call
the
skunk
buffs.
tank.
It gives
And
you
to
the
get there,
well-fed.
We need to contact the 3rd Expedition Fleet, who have spent the last 30 years smoking weed in their spaceship.
I've come to the realization I was clearly born 10 years too soon. Because I have Zoomer humor brain. I am Zoomer pilled. Why was I born in the 90s? If I was born in the 2000s, I would have fit right in. This is obviously my kind of humor.
This is pretty much why we're here. This new environment is firstly comprised of the Coral Highlands, which are filled with a beautiful and alien ecology, able to support a wide range of pit bulls and more literal balloon animals. From this point onward, biology is more of a suggestion, but looking just underneath the surface, we find...
Once again, and I'm going to put the same thing we spoke about with Pal World. This game, Capcom Capcom, look guys, Capcom, we all know are a bunch of pervy Japanese people. That sounded very racist. Please don't take it that way. You know the Japanese, they made hentai. And obviously when they made this game, they were making monsters with certain admirations of certain kinks. Like that Mortail, Vor, if you will. There's every single thing in this game panders to somebody's kink. You know it, I know it. No one's willing to admit it, but I'm going to be the one with the balls to say that, yes, that's what this game's all about.
In the true source of this bizarre life, it's death. The Rotten Vale is an area built and designed to simulate San Francisco.
I love this fight.
Only by the
I remember this one. I think this was about when I stopped playing, actually. And I really didn't get very far. I think this was as far as I got.
Or how the fuck? As it turns out, every monster in the new world has an inherent instinct to die here, specifically. Which begs the question, why do predators even exist if they can just wait? And also, yes.
There's a comment here. Why do predators exist if they just wait? Well, Reddit is a thing.
The stench physically hurts you.
Oh, and Discord mods.
These are all the areas you need.
That's all you need to know for predators.
By about 30%, because upon entering our next area, Monster Hunter turns up the heat and scales every monster back to being threatening again. Yes, even the Great Jagrussi. That means more weapons, more armor, and even more temptation to kill every mammal larger than myself.
Oh, the Rainbow Unicorn! I forgot about that.
It's safe to say that this game has a time requirement. So after 30 hunts or so, we finally arrived to the temperate lands of Western Australia. You know, the state that lost a civil conflict with
takes you 30 hunts to get to that point. You've done something
biology is no longer a suggestion.
Illegal.
It's a restraining order. We've got fish that swim through molten magma, lizards that eat rocks, and of course my personal favorite
this was about the time I stopped playing, I think. I remember these guys. I remember these guys.
Rock solid chin. Although I do think they could have worked on the whole controlling the monster mechanic a little better. It really breaks down when you encounter the fire. But among the many features of this game, we haven't even gotten close to the train wreck that is the story. After all,
this game had a story? That's news to me.
There is a reason we ventured into the land of unusual thermodynamics. It's just a really bad reason.
Also, do you guys remember Dauntless? I know it's still going and everything, it still gets updates, but I loved that game. It was the discount Monster Hunter.
Do not have names. Who can forget such personalities as the Handler, the Commander, and a fucking Ganondorf? The story is comprised of
just reminded me. Do you guys remember the horrendous Monster Hunter movie with not Angelina Jolie. Fuck, what was the name? Oh god, what was it? Hold on. Monster Hunter. It was starred. Oh, who was it? Who was it? Milla Jovovich, yes. Like, I didn't mind the movie. I did not mind it. But what they did to my boy was a crime. I mean, it was pretty shit. But the most heinous thing they did is what they did to my boy. Look at this stupid. Look at this bollocks. Like, what the fuck is that? If you're gonna make a game that's really, if you're gonna make a movie adaptation of a game, you either go full hog and make it really anime and goofy, or you make it as grounded in reality as possible. Like, poor Ron Perlman did not deserve this. Like, a Monster Hunter movie could have been amazing, but rather than, you know, doing what most good movie adaptations do, where they either go full hog into the campiness or, you know, really ground it in reality, they just went a middle ground, and it's like they didn't care. Again, it wasn't terrible, but it was close enough to it. Like, if you're gonna do a movie adaptation, the reason why games and anime do not do well in live action is because movies and games, you can over-animate. They are goofy, they are wacky, especially in very fantastical settings. It's very hard to take something as goofy, weird, and as abstract, and as something that doesn't even take itself seriously, and then put it in a real-world scenario. You either go full comical goofiness with it, kind of like some of the more recent movie adaptations, or you put it so grounded in reality that it becomes very serious. And at that point, you don't do any of these stupid hairstyles, you don't do any comedic anime stuff, because otherwise it just sticks out like a sore thumb. Because poor Ron Perlman is a great actor. He did not deserve that wig put upon his forehead.
The story is comprised of 2 major arcs. Where in the world is the 50-foot tall lizard? And gee, I wonder what Ganon is up to. Both of which are made excessively worse when the game automatically sets the handler to be in a catsuit. And at this point, I'm afraid of turning it off. Okay, one last thing,
this game
everyone.
has furries.
If I see anyone else on this fucking ship say the words next...
Yes, my adventurers, my super serious, gritted, well-seasoned adventurers. You have all traveled the worlds looking for adventure. Your gritness, those faces seeing wars, and the furry, and the Joker's rejected son will now all take on an abomination of monstrous proportions. Also, I've just realized this guy looks like Atreus from God of War.
Ship say the words Nekopara cosplay, I will invert your penis with my foot. For the first arc of our multiple stage manga that ends in a sex scene, we chase after the amazing boss fight Zora Magdaros as we apparently forget the location of a giant kaiju several times. This being said, you don't
How do you lose a mountain?
His boss battle is an environmental puzzle primarily comprised of loading cannonballs for 30 minutes and then waiting for the boss to move very slowly. That way we can
boss fight. It doesn't look very epic though.
Sphere that extends
no, it's fine, Stan. Don't worry about it. I was just saying, whenever that stuff happens in this, I have to edit it out because, you know, copyright. Because I'm the idiot that put copyright music as my alerts.
The continent. And of course, I mean discover like the Vikings meant trade. This is where some of the toughest and most annoying bosses in the entire game happen, featuring such
I promise you I didn't pre-watch this stuff. I'm gonna get so many people sat there saying, oh, pre-watched, Makari's already seen it, she's watched it before, so she can have witty commentary and make it look like she's smart. Guys, I promise you, this is the first time I've ever seen this.
Fights as Nergigante, whose name I cannot say with a hard R, the COVID Beast, and my personal favorite, Margaret Thatcher's Nightmare. Of course, there is more to this game because
that kills people!
More, but that is basically how you beat the first half. So, there's an expansion for this game that is more expensive than the game itself, which doubles the content.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Shit, I forgot about that.
Playtime. I'm gonna be fucking real, guys. I'm not covering that shit. This video is supposed to be short because I made it while on vacation, and vacation for me means working 8 hours a day. This game is lengthy.
This dude just explained the entire grind set of a full-time content creator. You don't take days off. You don't. Even on a day off, you just allocate your time to different work. Like, when I'm not streaming, I'm doing artwork. When I'm not doing artwork or streaming, I'm doing YouTube content. And when I'm not doing any 3 of those, I'm having an existential crisis and curling up in bed.
And you should definitely play it if you have the time. But in my current mental state, I do not.
Yo,
so with the release of Elden Ring, I think it's time to move on to a better project. This is basically a Max0r filler episode. And if you like World, then just get the
even as a filler episode, this has more editing, more scatterbrain, more chaos, more nonsense than 90% of what people will put out there on YouTube these days.
Because it's more of the same, but twice as tall, and most of the monsters are on crack. And just to prove it, half of the footage in this review is Iceborne. This is a game that I believe you have to experience, because there's just so much, and yet so little time. Thanks for watching, guys.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I was going to do a whole bit at the end of this where I was going to re-download Monster Hunter World and be like, guys, I've made a decision. But I've made the decision for myself, and we're definitely going to start playing this again in the future. What a video, though. I friggin' love Max0r's work. I hope one day I can start putting out content half as good as this.